5 women's perfumes that are incredibly sexy but on a budget. So, fragrances convey sexiness, sensuality, either because they have vanilla or because they have rose, which is typically associated with romance, or it could be something like peony, it could be like a warm, sensual amber, something like that. And these are 5 fragrances that I personally have in my collection, all of which I think are incredibly sexy. And I would 100% recommend every single last one of them. And of course, if you want to pick any of them up, you may do so at giftexpress.com. This is not a sponsored video. I am going to drop the link down below if you're interested in, at the very least, discovering these fragrances. Again, there's no obligation to purchase. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not making any commission from you using my code or through clicking the link. But if you want, you can use the code RED10 to save 10% off your entire order. I just like being able to support companies that are giving really good deals, that are listening to the consumers, that are not trying to price gouge. And these are incredible fragrances, super sexy. And of course, all of these are on a budget. So you're not going to spend more than $40 for any single bottle on this list. At least you shouldn't. If you see any of these for more than 40, I think you better wait until the price comes down. You know, the whole supply and demand thing, especially with regard to the very first one. So this one is Lattafa Angam. Now, in case you've never heard of this fragrance before, this is basically the brand's take on Burberry Goddess. Burberry Goddess has a lot of vanilla, lavender, vanilla caviar. There's a hint of musk in the dry down as well. There's a bit of brightness in the opening, but it's not an overly citrusy fragrance or anything like that. It's mostly about the lavender and that silky smooth vanilla that you're going to get in here. And I personally love the original Burberry Goddess. This one is called Angam. Angam is an Arabic word that means melody. I think it's a beautiful name, beautiful concept, beautiful presentation here with the notes and the treble clef. It's just a beautiful presentation. And the lasting power on this as well is incredible. On my skin, 8+ hours. Of course, it's all going to be contingent upon your skin chemistry. So apparently, as of late, there was this fake AI video of Huda from Love Island talking about how she loves Lattafa Angam and everybody says she smells so good and this is her signature scent and blah, blah, blah. So the cat came out of the proverbial bag. People are calling it out for what it is, right? That it's an AI video. I've seen the video. Looked pretty realistic to me, but scary things happening in today's day and age. Anyway, this is a super viral fragrance and it's been out of stock on Oudwear, on Gift Express, on Amazon. Several other merchants have also sold out of their stock. It's been totally depleted. Well, it is back in stock last I checked, at least on TikTok, but you can look around and you can find Angam for a pretty decent price, I suppose. Victoria by Lattafa. So let me tell you something. Actually, before I reveal this one, I might as well mention this one. So this and this fragrance are the same thing. So this one is Irfa by Al Absar. Irfa by Al Absar. These 2 fragrances are exactly the same thing. As much as I love Angam, and I love recommending Angam, and I think people should go out there and buy it, with Irfa, I saw this selling on the TikTok shop for $19. So in that case, I would say go with Irfa. I want you to save money. There's no need for you to spend, $40 for this when you can spend $19 for this. I just think it's an incredible price. Then we also have Victoria. This is the brand's take on Dolce & Gabbana Devotion Pour Femme. Beautiful fragrance. It's a vanilla pound cake, right? So you have the vanilla, you have the lemon in the opening. Lemon pound cake is what I meant to say, but you get a lot of vanilla. Sometimes the vanilla does certainly overshadow the lemon. What a gorgeous fragrance. Victoria by Lattafa. The presentation is beautiful as well. Now we also have the last Lattafa on this list, and this one matches what I'm wearing. Hayati Florence. So this is the brand's take on Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. That fragrance has a lot of lychee and rose and peony. It is utterly sexy. It is so sensual. And it kind of bears resemblance to Delina by Marley. I know Delina is a fragrance that was worked on by Kenton Biche. That's the perfumer's name. And of course, he also worked on Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. And this is practically a reverse engineered version of very good girl. So you're going to get a lot of similarities among all three of the fragrances. And this is one that I just truly love. You can't go wrong with this one. Very flirty, a bit more on the side of romance, just like these two. This one also has like a fun and upbeat nature about it, I suppose, because of that, lemon pound cake thing that's happening in here. The lemon just adds this brightness, this vivaciousness to the fragrance. But the perfume in the number one spot, so this is super sexy. This is cherry, it's vanilla, it's warm, it's earthy. It is such a remarkable fragrance. And it's yet another inspiration, hence the reason why you can find it for a pretty affordable price. It typically is the case that a lot of the inspired by fragrances are significantly more inexpensive than the mass marketed designers. And of course, niche is always through the roof as far as the pricing is concerned. This is the brand's take on Black Opium Over Red by Yves Saint Laurent. So that fragrance has like a coffee, the amber, the vanilla, a hint of patchouli, but it has this cherry note in the opening. And this fragrance is super, super smooth. I love it. It goes straight into that smooth aspect, which I know for a lot of people, they say Black Opium Over Red can be a little bit medicinal. I don't know if you are in that camp of people who argue that or not, but this one is phenomenal. Another one by Alabsar. This one is called Hassa. This one has also been sold out. I think it might be restocking in a few days, at least within the week. It depends on where you look. Check out Gift Express. They may have it at the time that I'm publishing this video. I don't know when I'm going to publish this video. But what I do know is that all 5 of these fragrances are incredibly sexy, but on a budget. So we're in the market to save money. We don't want to spend an egregious amount of money on an eau de parfum. Fumbling over my words there. Not in today's day and age, unfortunately. And especially with new fragrances coming out seemingly on the daily, I know we want to be a little bit more frugal and a bit more conservative with our spendings. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. 5 incredibly sexy fragrances. Get them at Gift Express, not a sponsored video, but you can use the code RED10 to save 10% off your entire order. Thank you again so much for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.